Claire Baker, former clutterholic, founder of clutterclearing.net, bringing you my weekly vlog about my own clutter clearing journey, which is my weight loss journey. So how have you got on over the last week? I hope you've had a good one. It is ridiculously early in the morning. Well, not ridiculously. I've been up for 3 hours. It's 8:30. It's a lovely time of the morning. I've already done the ironing and a bit of work, which is great. So this new getting up early really does make a difference. So many more productive hours in the day and helps with getting to bed at a good time. Thoroughly recommend it, even with the dark mornings at the moment. Anyway, so I've had a good week on the weight loss front. I've lost 5 pounds. Woo, woo, woo. Really pleased about that, which means that I've offset the 3 pounds that I put on last week and the pound the week before, and lost an extra pound. So I am now at the lowest weight that I have been on this journey, which I'm really pleased about. There is almost that stepping on the scales each week of, I feel like I've done well, but you're never quite sure till you see that number, and I don't want to get obsessed with the numbers. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago that that was one of my concerns, that I become obsessed with it and over controlling with my food. But I seem to be doing quite well. What's really interesting though is that with the numbers, my BMI is 30.1. I'm 0.1 away from not being classed as obese. Of course, I look in the mirror and I think I'm not obese. I'm a size 14 now, but technically the NHS would call me obese. Okay. I was obese before, 7.5 stone heavier. But yes, what's happened with the numbers? The skeletal muscle has gone up, but interestingly, was it skeletal fat? I can't remember. One of the fat one has gone up. Body fat, I think it is, has gone up, which I'm interested in, because my weight has gone down, my skeletal muscle has gone up, but also my visceral fat I think it is. I should have written it down. So yeah, not quite sure what's going on there. So again, these scales that I got just before the summer are interesting because they almost tell me more or make me more curious about the numbers than just the weight. So yeah, so it's all good. It's heading in the right direction. So getting on to the 7 success factors. First of all, feedback and learning. Very simple. Let's have a quick check-in with the obvious. If I don't eat carbs or sugar, I lose weight. Hey. If I stick to my daily calorie intake, I lose weight. Who knew? Having this daily level maximum rather than doing my feast and famine like I was is working better because I'm not getting as hungry. I'm not getting those hunger pangs that I did get on fast days. Only having a cooked breakfast once a week is working much better than when we were having it 4 times a week. Sausages and bacon. Sausages high in carbs, although not as high as if we bought the sausages from the supermarket. We buy them from a local farm, so there's less bread, packaging, stuffing in there. There's more meat. And of course bacon is high in calories as well. So my husband is actually getting bacon and sausage and eggs on the way home from the farm, on the way home this morning from his morning job. So we shall have our new weekly cooked breakfast. So looking forward to that. I wonder what flavour sausages are. See, food, love food. I've also realised this week, been reminded, because again, these aren't things that I didn't already know, but just like anything, we kind of have to make the mistakes, get that feedback and learning, and do it several / many times before it kind of really sinks in. I've been reminded that weight loss is not dependent on exercise, as I'll show you later. I didn't go to the gym last week, so again, it's not dependent on exercise. Exercise helps, but it's not dependent on it. Also realised that actually, whereas, again, one of my learnings on my journey has been that it takes time for carbs and sugar to get out my system if I do have a blitz on it, I actually think it takes me about 5 days. I thought it was 3 or 4, but I think it's nearer 5 days, because not Sunday just gone, the Sunday before, when we were coming back from the Lake District, I basically just ate carbs and sugar all day. Didn't have breakfast. We had a cream tea in Hawkshead in the Lake District, mother-in-law. I joined in. It was the last day. She was fussing about us having a cream tea. I thought, oh, what? And it was lovely. The scone was huge. It was lovely. So that was quite a lot of carbs and sugar and fat with the cream. Then on our way back down the motorway, we stopped off at a service station at a Cafe Nero, and I had a piece of lemon drizzle cake. Guess what? Carbs and sugar. Hello. And then went into. I'm confessing now. You see, I can confess now that I've lost £5. Then went into a M&S, a supermarket, mini supermarket that was in the service station, and got my mother-in-law Jaffa cakes, which are the healthy option. She loves chocolate. My husband Yum Yums, and I got a packet of Belgian white chocolate cookies. 10 cookies about that big in there. Ate the lot within about 15 minutes of getting back in the van. Yeah, a few carbs and sugar there. And I don't know, it was kind of like, it was that cream tea at lunchtime that just set me off craving carbs and sugar. So I guess it also reminds me, I am addicted to carbs and sugar. Once I'm off that wagon, whoo, it's a challenge to get back on again. So I didn't feel like I got that out my system till about Saturday or Sunday this week. So I thought it was 3 to 4 days, but maybe it's actually 5 days. Mind you, I had so much of it, maybe it needed an extra couple of days to normal to get out my system. Hey ho, I lost £5 this week, I don't care. What else have I learned? Feedback and learning. It feels good to see the scales go down. Although I don't want to be obsessed with the numbers, it does feel good. Little hoo-hoo. Although I may resist change and having to change things, because we get used to our pattern, don't we? I had been used to eating the way I've been eating for a year, and obviously I've had to change and shift things. It is good for us, change. Although I argue that once you get to 40, it's harder. I've got a quote that I use with my clients. It's a quote by somebody called Robin Sharma. And I'm using this quote a lot because it encapsulates things, I think. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. We're all heading for that gorgeous, aren't we? But we might be at the hard bit, we might be at the messy bit. I feel like I'm kind of coming out of the messy bit and heading towards the gorgeous. Although, as I've said before, until I have had 2 consecutive weeks of weight loss, I'm not going to say I'm back on track. 2 consecutive weeks of weight loss, I will be back on track. And also, final feedback and learning this week is this morning when I was getting ready after my shower, open my wardrobe to decide what I was going to wear, I put all my summer clothes to one end of my wardrobe. There aren't many. And it also struck me, hey, next year, those are going to be too big. I'm going to keep them for the moment because, number one, I have the space to be able to keep them. And number two, it's going to be lovely next summer when I go to try them on and they're hanging off me. Like some of my summer clothes from last year did when I tried them this summer. Let's hope we get a better summer next year than we did this year. But it also made me go, oh, I haven't got many autumn and winter clothes. And I made a mental note, right, I need to start hoping that I get maybe £1,000 John Lewis voucher. John Lewis is a department store here in the UK. I would really love £1,000 John Lewis voucher to be able to go and shop and buy clothes, shoes and accessories. I like John Lewis's, always have done. Of course, I wouldn't say no to a £10,000 John Lewis voucher, so I could get new carpet as well. Desperately need new carpet in the house. That would be nice. Oh, and a bathroom. Oh, and a kitchen. Maybe this voucher needs to. No, we'll stick with the clothes because that's to do with my weight loss. So yeah, £1,000 would do it. Get some good quality clothes, and again, it's quality over quantity. I would much, and in a way, I don't feel. In the past, I haven't really bought many good quality clothes because I've always thought I might not be able to wear them for very long. This time, I have no problem with spending a decent amount of money on decent clothes because I know I'm going in one direction. Even though I plateaued for quite a bit of this year, I wasn't putting all the weight back on massively because I had changed my lifestyle. It plateaued. It went up and down by a matter of 3-4 pounds on average, as opposed to packing on another 7 or 14 pounds. So again, more confident. Won't have a problem with spending money on good quality clothes. Okay, cool. So that's feedback and learning. Time and patience. Time and patience, second success factor. This is my lowest weight. £1 pound lower than I was back in August. And I definitely, in terms of timescales, I'm thinking another 14 pounds by Christmas. That's what, October, November, December. So that's probably about 12 weeks away. 10, 12 weeks, yeah, so that's only £1 pound a week, isn't it? But ultimately, as long as I lose something by Christmas, something more by Christmas, I will be happy. Again, the patience is there now. I know I can do this when I've lost next week, and I can honestly say I'm back on track. It's good. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as I'm heading in the right direction, and as long as I have the patience to keep doing the doing. Talking of which, doing the doing. Success factor. Well, I didn't go to the swim or the gym last week. I did yesterday, so I went swimming in the morning, did my 50 lengths. Need to treat myself to a new pair of goggles because they were leaking, so I was having to stop nearly every length to readjust them. So I think we need to treat myself to a new pair of swim goggles. Went to the gym and did a workout yesterday evening. I did go for my gym review last week. Very depressing. Because my new instructor, young enough to be my son, which is always a sobering thought, I think. And I did feel the resistance to change. I felt like I was quite abrupt with him, like, yeah, okay, fine. You want me to do rowing? Fine. Although apparently I'm a natural at rowing, which is ironic because I went to a school for 2 years that was heavily into rowing. Who knew? So yeah, rowing instead of the cross trainer, and it was I could feel my inner child go. But actually, you know what? Last night I did enjoy my routine. So yes, again that change quote seems very apt. What else? Yeah, and the good thing is as well is that now I've got a new routine or another routine, I can switch between the two if I want to. If I'm having a day where I just think, oh, I fancy a change, I can switch back to my old routine. I didn't do parkrun on Saturday. Still lost £5. But again, I know that the exercise isn't crucial to my weight loss, so that's okay. Partly because I still had a bit of the cold last week from when we were away, and partly, and probably more so, because I was on a run. I'm recording 90 videos. 90 videos for the clutter clearing 90-day journey, and I was really into a roll by Friday evening. I'm kind of recording them in the morning and recording them in the evening, we're on a stage where each day there's a daily video and then there's a workshop video. So I was very much into a role on it, and I wanted to do them. I wanted to do them on Saturday morning, so I did instead of parkrun. So that was good. And again, like I say, parkrun wasn't essential to my weight loss this week. The fourth success factor. Ooh, the wind's going to put my nose. Sorry about that. The fourth success factor, the method. The method. Very, very simple. I kept my calories in control this week. And I also did 3 fast days just to offset those carbs even more. And guess what? It worked. Fifth success factor, support and motivation. I had my counselling last week, which to be honest felt more of a this is what's happened while we were away, and this is what annoyed me, and this is what frustrated me. But I love my mother-in-law dearly. But I'm sure that in itself kind of helped. Bless her, Marissa, just sitting there going, yeah, holidays with family in her experience are never really holidays for yourself. And of course, support motivation also had TRE last week. Surprisingly, I had no visualizations. Normally I get a visualization in my head, but I didn't last week. It was very much to-do list because there's a lot going on, both with my husband's business and with clutter clearing. But my body was tremoring, so it was doing whatever it needed. That's the great thing about TRE, that it's dealing with stress that you're not even consciously aware of. So yeah, that's really good. My husband's benefiting from the TRE as well, which of course means that I'm benefiting. Less stressed husband, less road rage, gotta be a good thing. So that's the support and motivation. Sixth success factor, planning a routine. I made sure last week that I had appropriate snacks in the cupboard. So for me, that's pork scratchings and red Leicester cheese. And I've got a new way of when I have a piece of red Leicester cheese, instead of having to use the scales every time and have a slightly different weight, I've got a new way of measuring a portion. The knife that I use, basically I cut a width of the knife, and that's 25 grams. I know, it's so sad, but these little things do make a big difference. Just makes life easier, rather than guesstimating. And of course the routine, getting back into the swimming and the gym this week, that just really helps with the mood hormones, I think. And then finally, seventh success factor, the gratitude, success and perspective. I am really grateful that I've had the support of Marissa to get me through the last few weeks and months where I was plateauing and got to a bit of a low, didn't I? It's a big success that I am at my lowest weight so far on this journey. And in terms of perspective, I'm headed in the right direction. And although I will wait until next week when I've lost, positive, when, not if, when I've lost next week, I will be able to say I am back on track. And although I still can't see my goal, and I don't know exactly where it is, even at this stage, I know I'm heading towards it, and I know it's there, and I know I will get there. So yeah, all is good with my weight loss journey. I hope you've had a good week, and yes, let me just make a commitment actually. Let me make a commitment. This coming week, my goal as always is to lose 3 pounds. If I can lose 3 pounds, then I will be happy. But yeah, have a good week yourself. Hopefully you've got some success factors to think about from your journey. And I shall see you same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye-bye.